Welcome to Spirited Straight Talk, the podcast to help you thrive with the help of spirit. I'm Deb Shepard, psychic medium, spiritual teacher, and author. Each week, I bring new insights to help you heal from loss, connect with spirit, and turn setbacks into triumphs. So let's get started. I do believe 100% that we all want to find Zen. We all desire it. We take these vacations. We hope to let everything go, to find that place of serenity. Yet, we continue to argue with the voices in our head. We battle, we negotiate, we look at the issues, we try to solve it. It keeps going round and round and round.
Monkey mind.
Mm-hmm. So how do we find a way to stop battling our voices in our heads and calm the mind? It's a big one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
it is.
And it's something that we look at these masters, these monks that spend all these years in a monastery meditating. And I always laugh because they have no spouse, no children, no job, no bills. Of course, they can think about nothing. It's the rest of us on this planet that constantly have things going on. And in our society today, there's technology in our hands 24/7, whether it's your watch or whether it's your phone, your computer, all that technology. So how do we find that time where we're not going back and forth? I thought about this, about being, both of our sons like the WWE, Worldwide Wrestling. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I forget nowadays. I know it changed names.
Yeah. So it's all those fake battles, basically. And when our sons found out that it wasn't real, I think it's like finding out there's no Santa Claus, right?
Yeah, it was devastating.
Devastating. When it's real, and they're like, no, it's really not real. And that's what you have to think about in your mind. This fight that's going on, this dialogue that's happening, really is fake.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're allowing it to take up our energy that we talk about all the time. And it stresses us out even more.
Mm-hmm. And it's the 2 a.m. monkey mind.
2 a.m.
that drives me crazy the most. The 2 a.m. you wake up and your brain's all this chatter.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what do I have to do tomorrow? Oh my God. Okay, bills and blah, blah.
I got to make those phone calls. I can't forget to do that.
Yeah.
And by the time it's 5:36, you go back to sleep and you have to get up
in an hour.
Well, I don't, but you do. Let's be honest here. I don't let that happen.
I don't have to get up. I'm just very focused sometimes.
Right.
Maybe because I have the monkey. I wake up with the monkey mind.
Do you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, would you put your monkeys in a cage? Tell them to go away. And this is not unusual these days. I know that people talk about how to de-stress themselves, and they're going to doctors and everyone's feeling overwhelmed, and our bodies are feeling it. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is our bodies are aware of it. And I feel like we have a lot of guilt in our life about, make sure you respond to somebody, make sure you don't forget their birthday.
It's all driven by guilt.
It's all driven. And so those are the things that we keep doing, is we keep overthinking it and beating ourselves up. Like I said, that's why it's that fake wrestlers in your head. Just name the wrestlers, sell tickets maybe, because they're going back and forth.
It's your companion.
It's your companion. As I said, name your wrestlers. When you do that, it's never a moment where you can find that peace. And as you know, one of my favorite meditations is blow drying my hair. And people are going to think, what?
Mm-hmm.
But my students know that, because it's that white noise. I'm not touching electronics. I'm just sitting there focused. And so if you're a person that has that monkey mind and you want to look for the Zen, you want to have that calming, you've got to find a way to meditate and relax. And it may not be sitting quietly, unless you're a monk with no children, spouse, jobs, or concerns, right? They take a vow of silence. Some of them do. So I'm sure they have stuff going on.
There are times I can shut that down, for a short time. But as soon as I'm done, it's going to come back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I think meditating is one way, if you can sit quietly and turn everything off in your mind for a short time, which I think is great. But it's going to come back, because as soon as you stop meditating, there it is again. Monkey mind. Yeah. So but this is different. This
gives you a little bit of break. And what you're saying is, we don't always like our own voices. As you know, I don't like to listen to my voice, but doing guided meditations, people really get a lot of that quietness. However, if you're driving or at work or 2:00 in the morning, how do you calm that down during that time? I think part of it too is when you get some bad news or you're getting something that you're just stressed, that every phone call, an email,
going through financials,
which we've been doing, or Dana's been doing.
Stressful.
Because you're looking at all these things and it just overwhelms you. And I think we become critical too. And that was part of it today when you were going through some of our financials about where we're spending money, what we should be doing, you know, those kind of things. And it can weigh heavy on our souls and our hearts and things like that. So I think today we want to find ways to help you get rid of the monkeys, not your circus, not your zoo. Calm it down, because
that it kind of is our circus and zoo.
It is our household. Don't tell anybody that. But at the same time, when we need to calm it down, to connect with our guides, connect with our loved ones, to be able to center so that our reactions are not those knee-jerk reactions, that we can actually tame the anger. We can manage the stress where we don't do things such as stress eating or drinking or whatever it is that it's a tool. Shopping, that's one of my reliefs. It's like, I'm really stressed, let's go to the store. Like, that's really helpful, but at the moment it helps. I'm distracted for a moment.
How about let's go for a walk instead?
Well, that's Dana. Okay,
let's go swimming.
So what we want to do is turn these things around to give you those tools, and they're quick tools, that they're prepared, you have them with you. Because if you're in that state of mind where a lot's going on and you're very stressful and you just need to calm yourself down and take some deep breaths, of course, having this available, these things available, so you can turn to them when you need it. And I was thinking about this, if we have a friend or family member or someone in our life that's going through some challenges, we send a card or we take them out to eat, or we do something, we send them flowers to help them know that we really care and to calm things down. But we don't do it for ourselves. So,
unless we go shopping.
And this doesn't mean you have to buy yourself flowers, which is absolutely fine, or send yourself a card, which I think would be a great idea too, to put a couple of cards in the mail and say, you're doing great. Those types of energy. But what we want to do is, how do we begin to change the news that we received or the things that are happening that we can't control? And that's really where that mindset of not being able to calm our mind is, because things are coming at you all the time. And the only thing you can do is respond. So this is about learning how to respond to stress and respond to things that are overwhelming you, so you can get back into that place. What I teach in the solutions class is, or solutions class, is to be able to be in a meeting or in a situation with family, to be able to calm yourself down so you can hear your guides. Because the first thing we want to do is we want to defend ourselves, or we want to argue, or those type of things. And that doesn't resolve it. The intention then is to be able to connect with your guides, calm it, so that you can respond in a way that's healthy and that you feel good about it and people know that you're listening. Does that sound right to you?
It sounds right to me.
Okay. Since there's so much noise going on in our lives, I think it's taking the time beforehand to think about things when you're in a good place, what things you love. Do you have a playlist on your phone or wherever it is that you can go back to? I mean, I know you have some favorite artists.
And I do.
And it can change and shift your mood. And I know music for most people is a game changer. So there's concerts and things like that, or it takes you back in time. So if music and songs are something that really help you, then put a playlist together so you can go right to that. Go to your car, go to your room, go to the bathroom, I don't care. Play that list and begin to really let your soul feel it, acknowledge that.
Yeah.
You know how much I love humor and dad jokes, because,
because they're fun.
Well, maybe not for you.
They are.
And I love TikTok. So that's one of my weaknesses. But
what are you doing?
Nothing.
TikTok? Yeah, she says nothing because
I'm researching.
You say nothing because you don't want me to know you're on TikTok.
It's like you don't want to be caught, right? I'm doing spiritual research on how to calm the mind. So humor to me is a go-to. And Dana knows this, if I've had just a lot going on, or I've had a really long day of a lot of grief, people going through some really hard times. And you try not to take it on, but it does affect you, you know, that stress and those emotions. And so I have my go-to for movies. Yeah. And you're like, okay, let's watch this movie. Let's sit down and those are good things. Or even the songs from the playlist from that movie is always good. I always say, what movie is that from? Where's it? You know, so that's me.
Bridesmaids.
Say yes to the dress. So, you know, oh, that's not music.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Some other ones. Mine is Practical Magic.
Yeah. What's the one about the dating?
The dating.
You know, it's Will Smith.
Oh, you're talking about Hitch.
Hitch. Oh, yeah. Hitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my ones that
the proposal.
The proposal. Yeah. Romantic comedies, I guess, with all the funny little one-liners in there. Yeah. So that's for me during those things. One of the things I wrote down here for fun, and we've actually purchased some of these. You get a voodoo doll.
They're little teeny tiny little cute little dolls.
Yeah, these are not real voodoo. They're just called voodoo dolls. But there's nothing wrong with finding a way to release your energy. We've had our students that did the 50-50 assignment. So those of you that are not familiar, I pair people up in this class, and they each have to do an assignment that is sort of spiritual or something like that. And both individuals can only do 50% of the project. They can't do more, they can't do less. And it's really learning how to not try to do it all, but allow the universe to show up, allow other people to show up, to really learn what partnership is like. Well, these two, this last year here, went to Smash It. I don't know if that's what's really called. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Smash It?
Yeah.
And basically you go in with goggles and gear to go and smash plates and
smash stuff. Yeah.
And they said it was just really relieving. It just relieves so much stress. And so maybe you know it's going to be a really rough week. You know that maybe relatives came in, or there was a review, or you had to deal with some stuff at work. Have reservations at the end of the week.
Yeah.
Have it already set up. Ask some friends to go, and just say
axe throwing.
Yeah.
Whatever you fancy.
You fancy. Now, I could see me breaking dishes, but axing, I don't think you would ever let me in the room. Axing. Well, hey, you know, throwing those axes, you know for sure that would not be. Yeah, the people behind me, it's like bowling. You know, the bowling.
Well, yeah. With you, I'd be scared it would fly backwards.
Yeah, backwards.
So you'd have to be in the room by yourself with something behind you to catch it. Yeah.
But have reservations for some of these things. Have it set up knowing that the days ahead of you will be stressful, and you want to calm yourself. It's not only something to look forward to, but it will release that stress. A lot of people like to exercise, including you. So that to me is something that is really important. I'm that Taurus. I want to sit in the middle of the field and not move, but I try really hard to exercise.
Did you know they can run really fast?
I'm sure they're running to the bulls. So this is something too, if that is your go-to, have it planned around you, or even if you have weights, or you bought me that trampoline. Get on the trampoline, jump around a little bit, have some fun.
Your little rebounder.
Yeah. If you're at work, if there is stairs, take the stairs, walk around the building, walk through it, whatever you can to disperse energy and let your mind unwind. Walking outdoors, of course, is fabulous, but if you can't do that, even if it's taking 5 or 10 minutes and moving that energy, maybe you go buy a candy bar.
Yeah, because chocolate,
what's it good for?
It raises your serotonin levels anyway.
So what happens with that voice in our mind? We're really trying to find comfort, and we are talking to ourselves, but we're not getting there. So when you are going through that process of your two fighters in your head,
your companions,
think about it or write it down. Are you feeling guilt? Are you feeling shame, regret, anger? What is it that you are overthinking? Because that will help you alone just be able to shift that thought process. And
just understanding it.
Yeah. Because why do we keep doing this? And part of it, even with guilt, like you said, make sure you pay the bill, make sure you make that phone call. That's all about not being enough or feeling guilty if you don't. You promise someone you would do this and you don't do it, so you don't want to forget. Especially
guilt and shame.
And especially if you forgot them a couple other times. I've done that where I forgot someone before and then I did it again. Oh, that just beats yourself up. Right. And that will go into
the monkey mind.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the Peanuts, the cartoon when that's what I'm getting. That's what we do to ourselves, which would probably be better than what we do. I was even thinking about the cartoons or we have now on our phones, those emojis, and you see the brain exploding. That's what we're doing when we can't stay in the Zen moment or pull in those rings, kind of pull it back in so we can breathe and take care of ourselves and not feel that agitation. And you and I know each other very well. When we're doing that, we feel the energy. I mean, earlier with you doing all the financials and putting things together and doing some research.
Taxes. I can't stand it.
Who does, right? That's what I always say on the other side. It must be heaven because there's no taxes or dieting. But we went for a walk and we talked.
You had to motivate me. I don't mind going for a walk, but I wanted to come and get something done. And you're like, let's go for a walk, which you were right. Yeah. It changed my energy.
Change your energy. And it doesn't take much. And it's not far because I won't go that far, right? Because I'll complain halfway in it. A couple miles is great. Yeah, I'm done. Okay, let's go back in. It just helps us because we hold it tight. It's like we're squeezing it. And we can't breathe. And we think the basic things of breathing would be easy, but we start doing that shallow breathing. And that's why even our watches today remind us, take a deep breath, breathe, smile, those things.
Yeah.
So what is important about also the monkey mind or not finding the Zen is try not to control the outcome. And that's really why our minds start spinning. Is because we're trying to get the best outcome possible. Yeah. There's a difference between finding a solution and just going through and regurgitating the same process. And many times the process is old things that we're thinking about. I should have done this. I could have done it that way. Why wasn't I thinking that? And guilt. And so how do you release that so that your mind isn't, because you don't want to do it again in the future.
Yeah.
Well, that memory is going to be there. It's embedded. So how do you not control the past and not worry about how you control the future? And if you've heard our podcasts in the past, it's always about the only thing you can do is respond to a situation.
And be present.
You cannot control. If your mind is not calm, you cannot find a solution because
you won't respond the same.
Nope. It's really a great trick. Yeah. And when people learn this, I think they finally realize how much easier it is because they're not spending so much energy during, before, and after. And that's the payoff there. It's worth millions of dollars. And I think the releasing control is a big thing where that's where we put all that energy because we're looking for that solution. When I started on this journey, it was learning about feng shui. And that's where I found out my abilities. But I wanted to control that my husband got a career back of what he was doing in the past. Well, obviously that failed. And I found out that I could do this work. So not that it turned out better, but for me it did, where I'm now doing what I love and I'm passionate about, and I get to help a lot of people, those type of things. But when you try to control it, you're limiting the possibilities of what the universe can bring to you. And that's what we talk about, that exercise about the 50-50, because more can come when you work in partnership. And that's what happens.
More can come easier. More good things can come easier.
Absolutely. And better than usually imagined.
Better than you imagine.
It's like when I surrendered and met you. Came better.
See what happened?
I didn't control it. Also, I think if we look at what our mind is doing, so we talked about the monkey mind and the fighters and the roommates and all those type of things, but we are prepared a lot of times if we have a car accident or there's a fire in the kitchen, we have things accessible to help put out that fire. And that's basically what your brain is doing. So in my opinion, if you want to really calm the mind and you want to do this often and not use all that energy, then be prepared and have a bag of tricks is what I was thinking. And a bag of tricks, you know who I'm thinking of is Mary Poppins. You know how Mary Poppins get pulled a spoonful of sugar. You know, you look at that bag and she had a solution. And how many women do you know that walk around with that huge purse and they have everything you would ever need? They have
So this is your bag of tricks?
Bags of tricks. Because you can go to that person and go, I need Kleenex, I need tweezers, I need a Band-Aid, I need Tylenol, whatever it is, that person has it. And so, and we also have those kits for when there's an injury. What do they call those? Emergency kits. We have them, but we don't use it when we're under stress. So we're going to talk about the bag of tricks.
Okay.
And
so you're saying create your own bag of tricks.
Create your own bag of tricks. I would encourage you to have them in your car, one at home. If you're in an office where it's stressful, have one there.
But your bag of tricks doesn't have to be a physical thing.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But why not? I mean, you can.
It can be, right?
Yeah. So some of this would be if you have a friend where they're always positive and you just call them up and say, hey, can you just give me 5 minutes of your ear? Because we do feel better. Don't give me a solution. Just let me talk to you for 5 minutes and cheer me on. That's all I want. Have that person and be there for them as well. So, make an arrangement when those things are happening, but only spend 5 minutes.
Don't become the victim.
Don't become the victim and don't look for a solution at that time. Just be excited about it. The one that's the most difficult for people is to record that story and then listen to it. You don't want to hear
if you want to carry that story
anymore. And I've talked about this many times.
What energy do you want to give your story?
Yeah.
Right.
And when you listen to it, you're realizing what your brain is doing and how it makes your body feel. And that's really a key. If you think that you want to find ways to calm that mind and you really want to do an actual bag of tricks, I'm going to give you some ideas, but be creative, whatever works for you. So these are just some ideas that I think would be helpful. One of them is to have some quarters in a bag or whatever, because remember we took the kids out the other day and they were just so excited about getting gumballs and candy in the little machine.
The quarter.
Yeah. Well, there used to be a penny. That tells you inflation, right?
Yeah.
But even having that and giving it to kids to see their joy and that you made someone's day better can actually make you feel relieved. And hearing kids with their laughter, it is, when our kids
it's joyful.
It's joyful. And you're really trying to get that energy again. So you wouldn't think that having quarters around would be that pleasurable, but it really does help all of us. This would not be in a bag, but this would be something to remember. Unless you wanted to put something in the bag to remind you, is smile at people, give compliments. Because it does change your day when you see someone go, oh, well, thank you, because you paid attention. So that's the pain forward.
You feel their joy.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's with the kids too. It might be asking yourself questions. One of my favorite apps is Get Gabbin', and it's about open-ended questions because we need to stop thinking about the problem and start thinking of something else. So how do we get distracted without being squirrel? So do you put some of these questions? Do you have an app on your phone that allows you to sit there for 10 minutes and calm your mind? Start thinking, where would I want to live if it wasn't here? What did I want to do when I was 8 years old? What was my fantasy thing? Those kind of things will help you calm your mind. If you have candles, take a hot bath, comfy socks, of course.
Make a calming kit.
Calming kit. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. A calming kit. Even if you're in a place, carry your tea bags with you. That's calming. There's a ton of that stuff out there. Oils, because you're a big oil girl.
Yeah. Oils and lotions. Some that are really calming that you can put in your kit would be lavender, frankincense, sandalwood, clary sage. Those are some good calming oils that you can use to help calm your mind quickly. And it just kind of gives you that sense of peace,
right?
Just from using the oil.
Just if someone's bathing in it, they're pouring it off of their head.
It depends on the day. I might do that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things we sell too on our side is the beads and things like that are calming. So certain rocks and stones that you wear.
You have your line of mala beads that people can look at. There's a couple of them that are very calming.
Right.
One is the white howlite, for example. It's a white bracelet, and the stone itself is a very calming stone. So having it on your skin, wearing it, and even saying a mantra for each bead, whether it's I am calm, or I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. That can help.
And if it doesn't really work, you can throw it at the individuals that are driving you crazy. Just kidding.
Dad joke.
One of the things I thought would be fun would be to go to a dollar store or wherever that's inexpensive and buy some little gifts for yourself. Buy 7 or 8 little gifts and wrap them up so you don't know what they are. And when you need to go and you're in that place, open one of those gifts to be a surprise. Because we like to have gifts. And we're like, okay, I didn't remember what I wrapped. I didn't remember what I got.
Wouldn't it be fun? And I've seen this in stores, but where you can go into a store and they have little gift things that you can buy. It's already pre-wrapped.
Oh, I love it.
And then you open it whenever you need a little lift or a little.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm. That would be fun.
That would be fun. Well, of course, oracle cards, right?
Yeah. You read your oracle cards.
Read your oracle cards. Yeah. I thought about a stress ball. Mm-hmm. They even have those damn it dolls where you can throw it. I'm just saying, whack it on the table.
When you're doing taxes, whack.
I don't even know if they make these anymore, but the candy cigarettes, if they make those anymore?
Yeah, but why would you do
so? Well, I'm just thinking, have a candy cigarette and like pass it around and go, don't because cigarette smoking really was to help stress, right?
Back in the day.
And I think people still use nicotine to help the stress, but it would be kind of fun to say, yeah, I'm really stressful.
You mean as a joke?
As a joke. And say, at the meeting, we're all stressful, so everyone have a candy cigarette right now.
We're all stressed out.
But again, to bring in that humor and allow ourselves to...
That would be funny.
That would be funny.
In an office meeting to have everybody with a candy
cigarette. Or buy boxes for everyone. So here, have a smoke. We do.
We're not promoting smoking.
No, we're not. But it's candy, okay? It's one of those things that it changes the vibration, and that's what you're trying to do. Because if you're in a meeting, and you and I used to be in corporate America, and everyone's thinking about the deadline and how we're going to get this gig and what's the bottom line and the time frame and all the problems, everyone sits there and thinking, okay, how are we going to do this? And how are we going to work together? So in my opinion, having something like giving everyone a stress ball or this candy cigarette would just kind of bring a little bit of lightness to it.
Humor.
Yeah, humor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that would be the other thing. Of course, breathing is for free.
Yeah.
And
specific ways of breathing, though.
You explain that because you've been studying this.
I am. I'm studying breath work. Basically, in order to calm yourself down, I would say take a deep breath. And when you let it out, count to 10. Let it out slowly. Count to 10 as you let it out. Do that 10 times. And by your 10th breath of breathing in deeply and letting the air out for a count of 10, you will calm yourself. The oxygen will change.
Yeah.
And how you feel.
Then you can have a candy cigarette.
Breathe through your candy cigarette.
So basically, we want you to calm your mind, and because it will take you, because you can take control of your life. That's really the purpose of this. And we always want to remind everybody to go to the website, because you can get my free dream kit if you get onto our email list. And continue to follow us on Spirited Straight Talk. We're here. We enjoy it.
Fun topics.
And we just hope that you enjoy it and are getting some insights from us. Thank you once again. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope it inspired you. If you enjoyed our conversation, make sure you subscribe so that you get notified of new episodes. And let's get connected. Visit debshepard.com for more insights, support, workshops, and a book a session with me. And finally, always remember, your loved ones in spirit are just a thought away. Even though they're on the other side, they're always by your side.